I know you've been giving the something pies to Hannah. Hello everybody, welcome back. Look at my hair, it's very, very wet. I've just had a shower. We also found out that Mads is the child who I've been going on about since day one. The kid that came through first, well, presumably first for us. This is Helge. I'm remembering names now. I'm getting to that point of the show where things are... Wait, no. That wasn't Mads. That was Helge. I thought that was Mads. Because look at the clothing that he was wearing. Is Helge time travelled? Is this... I literally said that I wasn't going to make this a 2.5 hour recording. I think I'm going to have to just settle down a bit on the predictions, because as much as I enjoy the predictions, it stresses me out too much because I'm getting them wrong. And there's that symbol again, that's what I was saying. Look, that was on the stones in the cave. There was a guy with the tattoo on his back. And this is in the middle of the forest. It's giving the Lonely Broadcast vibes. It's a book. Don't show me anything gory. I just know before anything happens, I am up to here. Thankfully, I've completely forgot about it until this second. I am traumatized, not only by the sheep with the brains and everything and the flaps. Like, you shouldn't have a brain flap, you shouldn't have a skin flap and see the skull. And the vet with the bird who was digging the... If there's anything that's about to resemble any of those two scenes right now, I am honestly not watching it. They're going to burn him. Cremate him. Yeah. Nobody gets buried as a body these days. There's not enough space. So is he basically saying, is there any identification factors to prove if the body has been unalived for a long time and preserved? Oh my god, he actually said it. So no, he hasn't been preserved. So he's time travelled and then unalived. Or he's been unalived and then immediately brought through time. I need Regina in the present day to be a nice person, and I need her to not unalive. Editing this last episode 6 over these last few days, I have been morbidly depressed, only because obviously I started talking about my granddad. And now I'm sad again, so I need this season at least to end with Regina present day being healthy, or at least just cancer free and happy. Can we get a hashtag justice for Regina in the comments below? There's 2 time frames that I think we're missing, and obviously we've got present day and we've got past 86, present day 2019. Further past, which would be Helge's childhood, which is 53, so that's the far past. And so far as of yet, I don't think we've got any future, although there is that one scene with the guy who stayed at the hotel in present day who said, have you got time to talk about time, whatever it was, at the end of the episode. It might have been 4 or 5. I don't know if that was the future. I feel like we've not seen much future stuff yet. Are we actually going to see inside the power plant now? It's Aegon. I can't want to just call him Targaryen. Oh! It's Helge! I didn't realise that we'd already seen, like, not old, but like younger Helge. Was he the one that gave Claudia the book present? You know, from episode... I can't remember, all the episodes are kind of like mingling together now. One where she was berating Regina in the car. It was her first day. Regina said that she walked him to the forest. And obviously Regina is the daughter of Claudia, who's in charge at the power plant, so Helge is not going to want to drop... He's not going to want to throw Claudia under the bus. I don't know. Sure, they've got CCTV in the 80s. Because if he was on the forest road, he might have seen Regina with him. Open up. Sorry, I don't have to bleep that out. If Ulrich hadn't have gone storming like guns blazing saying like let me in, I want to try and find Mikkel, and obviously that alerted them that then the police, because obviously I keep forgetting that Ulrich is police, it's alerted them that the police are then on like they're not a person of interest but like a company of interest. The power plant is a interest to the police. It's given them time from Ulrich trying to storm the gates to then now. So anything that could have been incriminated, anything that would have got them in trouble or led to suspicion of anything, they've now had time to like hide all that, wipe it all. Is that everyone? Yeah, please. But now he's gonna say to Jonas like, who are you? But he's got people in the hospital. He's a police officer. You can't just lie to a cop. Like, I just want to point this out. My granddad used to be a cop. I don't really remember. Not the granddad that I was on about with the cancer. My mum's dad. I don't really remember him very much because I think I was 5. I was 4 or 5. He passed away. He was a police officer. My mum, she used to be a bugger when she was a kid because obviously if you're related to a police person, then they're gonna think you're like goody two shoes. I'm not gonna like incriminate my mom, but yeah, she was not the best of children for a few years. That's one thing that you don't do, especially even if it's in the 80s. It doesn't matter. You don't lie to a cop because the reason that a cop has become a cop is one, if they're a corrupt cop, but if they had a genuine passion to be a police officer, then they're gonna want to know the truth of everything, and they're gonna know when people are lying. In present day, recently, there's been Elizabeth, Noah, and Helge all in the forest on the same night, in the same area, which means that there's some sort of link between Helge and Noah, potentially. We don't know Noah's age or date of origin, date of birth, because obviously present day and past, he's the same age, so was he born in like the 80s and then he grew up and became an adult in 2019 and then time traveled back to 1986? I don't know. I just don't know what to think anymore. Yeah, but he's not going to know what an earphone is. It's the 80s. That's a question. If something is brought from the future or present day to the past where it doesn't technically exist, so like the AirPods, they don't technically exist yet in that kind of form because they're too advanced. I was going to say, would they work because they're in a time zone where it doesn't exist, like the technology for that, although it might exist to a degree where it's like the really big chunky over the head headphones, would they work? But then I've just thought that obviously the guy who stayed at the hotel and gave Jonas the light, that light looked futuristic at the time, and I says that light doesn't look like it's from present day, so that works. So that means that technology from a different time would work in a different time. Does that make sense?
Unter euch Teenagern hatte Satanismus in dem.
Gott. Keine Ahnung.
No, it's paint. Was that from his coat? It looks like a waxy kind of coat material. You know, from his rain jacket thing. Ignore the fact that I'm so disheveled because I'm editing this whole entire video for the second time. It looks like coat material. I don't think that anymore. We saw those yellow, like, toxic barrels. Could it have been paint chipped off of the yellow barrels? Okay, bye. That's the door that we've seen. I said there's a door that could be linked to the power plant. And that means, guys, I'm smart. Normally I'd be like, oh, why is that relevant? But it's painted like a reddy pink colour. That is that's basically saying that that's frequently used because there's a pull-up bar from the bottom. Because that's all black, that's presuming that the paint's chipped off. This entrance is used often. Or it's some like dynamite TNT and somebody tried to blow the door off.
1986 ist im Winter ein Junge verschwunden. Mats Nielsen, können Sie sich daran erinnern? Sie waren damals bei der Polizei vorgeladen, aber es ist nirgendwo im Protokoll zu finden. Was bedeutet...
Oh, don't, it's gonna have a heart attack.
Die Vergangenheit.
You can change...
Und die Zukunft. Was hast du gesagt?
And the future. It's like the butterfly effect, but obviously worse. Like, you change one thing in the past, it'll change everything in the future, but we're not seeing that. But now he's saying that he can. Like, there is a possibility of changing things. There might be things being changed that we might not fully be aware of yet. That's the guy from the hotel.
Wie müssen die Menschen sich gefühlt haben, als man ihnen zum ersten Mal sagte,
Dass Ulrich mein Großvater ist und...
Yeah.
Martha, deine Tante.
Wait. So no, I said that. I did say, if I'm right, then that makes Martha his aunt. But to put a pin in that, obviously, Regina said in the last episode, where I caught it in the edit, she says something to Katrina, tell them who their mother is, which obviously leads me to believe that at least Martha and Magnus aren't Katrina's children.
Nicht verstanden. Wenn du Mikkel jetzt zurückbringst, dann greifst du in den Lauf
Yeah,
der Dinge
it's gonna
ein.
change.
Dein Vater lernt deine Mutter nicht kennen. Sie verlieben sich nicht. Sie heiraten nicht. Und du
Yeah, and he might not
wirst
exist.
nicht geboren.
You change something somewhere, and it will then have a massive change somewhere else. And there's like fixed, and then there's like wibbly wobbly stuff that could or might happen. If it happens, it's not like the end of the world. But then the fixed stuff, so like what he's trying to say now, if you change this with Mikkel, like if you take Mikkel back, you're basically deleting yourself out of existence, because this is a fixed point. Like it's something that has to happen, will always happen, and if it is changed, it then ruins. It's basically like a whole timeline. Obviously, because you've got parallel timelines, you've got like one timeline and then like 15 other timelines around it that could be parallel. Some of them are completely different, but the fixed point is Mikkel has a son, which then leads to be Jonas. And if you change that, you are deleting the timeline that you exist in. This is what I mean. It's a counterbalance of like action and reaction. It's always
Für ein Leben, mit dem wir im Wald gefunden haben.
a bit mad.
Irgendwie hat Helge mit all dem zu tun.
Geh nach Hause.
Warum nicht weit weg? Was bedeutet das?
Is that a Twix? I really want a Twix right now.
Dass du weißt, dass Ulrich dir im Moment nichts tun kann.
I know it's the 80s, but it's not like Stone Age. Can't they do like
Wenn er
tests?
ich ihn dazu, er würde mir niemals wehtun.
Wait, she knows about Hannah. They can't even blame the relationship issues on the fact that Mikkel's missing. Because if you think about it, Ulrich's been having an affair with Hannah before Mikkel even went missing. So there was issues with the relationship before.
Ich weiß es, Ulrich.
Was weißt du?
I know you've been giving the something pies to Hannah. If anybody doesn't, I just want to point out, I keep mentioning this whole pie joke. If nobody knows what I'm insinuating, I can't specifically outright say it on YouTube because it's very vulgar. You know when people, like in America, when they say like, would you like some milk in your coffee? Think of a milk alternative, and you can also whip it up to make like a whipped. I'm just going to stop that there. Just have another cookie. Was this show sponsored by Twix by any chance? Because that's the second person now who I think I've seen eating a Twix. And I really want a Twix.
Dein Vater wollte das Grab. Er dachte, das würde mir helfen abzuschließen.
I'm going to trauma dump again for a little bit. So, father wanted a grave. It would help find some closure. Yes, I think it would. If you've got any loved ones that pass away and aren't going to have them buried, if you're going to have them cremated and then scatter their ashes somewhere, or just keep them in an urn on your fireplace or something, I don't know. But for me, personally, the granddad that I was on about in the last episode that died of cancer, go and find somewhere while they're still alive that you enjoy going with them together, because I am torn. I live in the UK, and there's these places, without giving away close to where I live, these places called national parks, which are kind of, they're basically protected, and if you want to visit them to like walk around, you have to pay for either a membership for the year to be able to get free entry, or you have to pay every time. When my granddad passed away, he was cremated, and then my stepnonna decided to have my granddad's ashes scattered at one of these national parks, which is still fairly close to me. But like to this day, it's like it saddens me so much because one, I missed the scattering of the ashes. I don't have any closure. Like the last memory I have of my granddad was of him in pain in his bed. Pretty sure, thinking about it, it's illegal to have somebody's ashes scattered at a national park. This is the only thing I have left as a physical memory, and this was my very last Christmas. So this is from 2017. It was my last Christmas with my granddad. He passed away 23rd December 2018. And this is a Christmas hat. Just a plain, crappy red Christmas hat from a cracker. I kept this because when it was that Christmas, I thought to myself, this could be my last Christmas with my granddad, so I want to keep something to remember the Christmas day from. So glad that I kept the hat because that is the only physical, like I said, thing that links to a memory that I have. I'm done with the tangent. I feel like this episode just got really sad for no reason.
Eine Woche bevor
Oh no,
Max.
maybe not.
Ich habe das damals nicht der Polizei erzählt. Ich habe mich gar nicht erinnert. Da habe ich etwas beobachtet. Dem Haus gegenüber hat ein
priest.
Ich weiß nicht, über
Noah.
was.
Noah's a
Ich fand
priest.
es eigenartig, dass sich ein Pfarrer so streitet. Habe ich denselben Mann gesehen?
Yeah, that's Noah. Because we know that Noah... Yeah.
Nein, nicht den Pfarrer.
Oh.
Ich weiß das, weil er etwas am Ohr hatte, vernarbt oder entstellt. Genauso aus wie vor 33 Jahren.
That's the door in the woods that Helge's father... Helge's
Derselbe Mann.
son, Ulrich's father, was in. No, who's that? That's Helge. Wait, have we got two in the same timeline? Wait. I didn't even contemplate that. I'd never realised to think the fact that you could have two of the same people in the same timeline. Is this why Mikkel, as an adult, Michael hung himself? Because he hung himself at the same time that himself as a child, as Mikkel, went back in time. Technically, by logic, you should only have one timeline in one instance. So in the sense of like, you can't have... It's a paradox having two people of the same people at the same point. I've just got to this bit where I'm talking about Mikkel and Michael being in the same timeline. Sorry, ignore the crater of a spot on my head. Failed to realise there is that I'm contradicting myself, because if we've now got younger Helge running around willy-nilly, obviously you clearly can have it count as the paradox of you can have more than one of the same person in the same time frame. Other than Michael and Mikkel at the beginning, I just wanted to keep it in just to show you my trail of thought that I did actually think about it, and then I realised that I've contradicted myself. So yeah, okay, bye.
Stör ich?
But then that means that anybody could be anybody. Like, they could be the same
Du wolltest
person.
doch wissen, ob das Höhlensystem auch unter dem Waldweg verläuft. In der Nähe eurer Hütte ist nicht alles erschlossen, aber zum...
Helge, young Helge, could be living in the... Like, to stay out of sight of all, like, the current day people, just so he's not found out. He could be the one living in the cabin.
Wusstest du, dass dein Vater 86 bei der Polizei vorgeladen war?
Nein, wo bist du gerade?
Wann war der Unfall?
He couldn't have come to Winden in 87 because Helge was in the power plant being questioned by Egon in 86 when Mads had gone missing. Helge was already in Winden in 86, sorry.
12. November 1986.
November 12th.
Also heute in 3 Tagen.
You're a lying little toad. I don't like this guy. I've decided. I've been on the fence about it this whole entire time, but for some reason I just don't like him. He knows stuff. He's not telling us stuff, but he knows. As Justin Bieber says, like, I'm sitting on business, or whatever it's called. Like, I'm standing on business.
It's not clocking to that I'm standing on business, is it?
And again, what's that from? That's from the little board game, sorry. Why is that in the car? I'm getting stressed. There's too many questions again, I'm getting frustrated. This episode is not answered. Compared to the other episodes, there's been less answers in this episode compared to the others. Is Jonas coming back?
Yeah, sure.
I completely forgot that you could just come back. But she's in the bunker, so is she gonna see... Does this link up to the tunnel where Jonas went? And Mikkel? Is she now gonna see Jonas like just pop up like, oh hi, surprise, I'm back from the past, back to the future. Wait, is there gonna be a footprint? No. What's that? That's the paper from the room. You know that Eric and Helge was in as a child, and potentially Mads. Does that look like the wallpaper from that? You know where they had the chair with the screen thing? Wait, that's not the present day. There's no tape. There's no police tape. He's just walked straight through the cave entrance. It's got to be present day because his mom's the same age as present day. Have they just taken the tape down now? But this is... I am getting peeved off. I get you're going to sound so insane if you say to someone, oh, by the way, time travel exists. I know this because your father told me when I first met him that he was from the future. Why is nobody talking about it? Like, she knows that time travel exists because Mikkel came from the future and told her when he met her at the hospital. And obviously Jonas is on about fate, and again it's the memory thing of what I said before. Why didn't Ulrich remember a random day when he was 15, 16, Mikkel knocking on his house door saying like, oh, where are my parents, blah blah blah. Obviously he's not going to remember that because it's just a normal day to him. Why is nobody talking about like there's time travel and everything would be so much easier if they admitted that there's time travel. That was the book that was given to Claudia, and it's red string. The bookmark, it's red string. Again, more questions. And where's Helge going? I feel like I've had to work more for answers this episode. I wonder if Helge was working with Regina. So the tape's definitely gone now. That's right. The tape's still there, so how did Jonah walk straight through without climbing? He didn't climb over the tape. Who's that? That's young Helge. That's Mads. Mads with the strength, that was in the book. So is this saying that he did that to... He did that to Mads? Is this the past? Like, is this 80? Is this 86? And is he bringing Mads through to the present day? I've just realised Charlotte confirmed the cabin in the woods is Helge's, and the cabin in the woods has the red soil next to the cabin, which was found on Mads' body. Helge's son, Charlotte's husband, we definitely know was at the cabin at some point because there was that scene where he was trying to clean the car off. Is this like a family business? Is Helge in on it with his son, or is his son in on it with Helge? Helge's been in the room that Eric and Mads have been in, because obviously they both had, Eric and Mads had the thing from that chair over the face. Charlotte's just found that paper on the floor, which I presume is the wallpaper from that same room. Why would Helge turn evil and start moving the bodies through, unless it was a deal and they basically said, right, you can stay, like, we'll keep you alive, but you've got to work for us. I'm so confused. That's the tattoo guy. That's the guy that's got the symbol. So who's that? He's pretty buff, so I don't think it's someone we've seen recently. Who are you? Is that the priest? No! Guys! That's the priest! What's the priest doing in the present day again? What is he doing? 5/11/53. That was the past. That was 33 years before 86. Why did he just... What is the correlation to that? No! Next episode is called As You Sow, So You Shall Reap. Oh my god, it's 10:30. Guys. Wow, what an episode. Again, there's just 10,000 more questions. I don't feel like anything's been answered properly. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've loved it. Like I said, this episode I've been the most frustrated, I think, out of everyone so far. But you can't have a favourite episode all the time. It's still been a good episode. It's just that my expectations of... I'm so used to like the show giving you answers, and you still have to work for it. You have to pay like so much attention. But in the past, it's given us more answers easily. I will see you in the next episode. Bye! Bye-bye. Bye.